Welcome back to Alluain. I'm the world building shrimp. This video is about the domains. Domains are the categories in which specific essences exist. Different domains encompass different aspects of existence, each housing a variety of essence that interact, evolve, and influence one another. Domains are simply a way to help organize essences and their affinities, and help to understand which affinities use what kind of Newman. These are not concrete definitions, as many essences can be found in multiple domains, and the domains themselves overlap. It is also a way to understand how and why a vase shattered the way it did, such as how the shards were able to fracture off as such large pieces, while other vases broke into teeny tiny ones. As a vase began to shatter, they did their best to contain the damage in certain areas, along lines that divided the different domains. That way, when essence was distributed, the cracks wouldn't act as a wall that stopped needed essence from crossing, but more of a point of delineation, places that essence wouldn't need to go further anyways. But affinities weren't always so neatly divided, and some ended up in places where it was easy for them to be missed. Each individual affinity that was starved of their essence left a crack, and with them being haphazardly distributed in some areas, they couldn't control all the breaking in a cohesive manner. These became the weak points that grew as more and more resonance was missed. When a vase shattered, the smaller disconnected affinities became the individual avaki, and the largest sections were what ultimately became shards. So, here are the 6 domains as I currently understand them: energy, life, change, matter, mind, and ether. The domain of life encompasses everything to do with life itself, from the smallest ant to the concept of love. It contains all of the processes of life, like growth, sleep, emotions, adaptation, disease, decay, even death. Life contains the most overlap between domains, as it overlaps heavily with energy, change, matter, and mind. As a matter of fact, I have been going back and forth whether I want mind to be its own domain or not. Thus, I made it a canon thing, that not everyone recognizes the domain of mind as separate from life, seeing it as a subdomain instead, known as an eidos. For example, the eidos of mind under the domain of life. But for myself, I do consider it separate. The domain of energy includes essence related to different forms of energy, from heat and light to kinetic energy and sound. It also includes the energy created inside of a body from eating food or produced through decay. The energy races themselves are recognized as an essence, such as a maneuverian. This can lead to a very successful loop for both the maneuverian and an avaki, whereby simply existing side by side, the avaki gets to resonate easily and the maneuverian is rewarded with Newman. Speaking of, Newman also falls under the domain of energy. The domain of change includes all essence related to the process of transformation, alteration, and growth. It also includes the opposite of change, like stasis, stagnation, and equilibrium, from a little plant growing on the side of a house to the full act of shapeshifting. These belong to the domain of change. The domain of matter includes essence related to physical substances and their properties. It includes living matter and non-living matter, such as rock, crystals, metal, water, air, snail shells, blood, etc. Isn't it interesting that air is still matter? I always envision it as some immaterial thing, but nope, 'tis matter. The domain of mind involves essence related to intellect, cognition, thought, ideas, creativity, emotions, the concept of a mind itself, souls, and the mind field. The domain of ether involves essence related to folds, mavada, and etherin itself, the manipulation of Newman into its many different types of essence, as well as storing and using said energy. It also includes the energy races of etherin, such as avaki, maneuverians, or the kaima. Did that noise come out of my nose? Ether affinities are usually compatible with all other domains and can be found in many areas. So those are the domains: energy, change, life, matter, mind, and ether. Now, let's talk more about overlap. An essence can be found in multiple domains, such as the concept of a mind being within the mind domain, the domain of life, and the domain of energy. The energy beings of etherin also have minds, so you could say it overlaps with ether as well. Growth belongs to life, energy, change, and matter. A plant decaying would be a living thing made of matter, and it is changing as it decays. Energy can fit here too, as the process of decay gives energy to those breaking down the material. Though it more strongly belongs in life and matter, change and energy also fit. Ice turning into water and water turning into gas would be change and matter, but the process of these changes would involve energy, as heat would be the cause behind the transformation. Something like water would only belong in the domain of matter, but that's only if the water is unaffected by anything else. Flowing water would include energy, and an animal drinking water would bring it under the domain of life. So, that is how I currently understand the domains. Feel free to ask questions or comment some domain interactions you can think of, or even domains themselves I may not have thought of. Remember to do the things you enjoy in the way you enjoy them. Thanks for listening. I'll talk at you next time.